it's Aaron and Lisa. Want to add some comfort to that joy this holiday season? Let Sierra Sil, with its 2 rare patents to ease joint discomfort and calm inflammation, help as it does in our home. This Canadian company's so sure you'll see a difference within 14 days. Sierra Sil offers a full money-back return, and you can find details on their website.
SierraSil.com. That's SIERRASIL.com, Sierra Sil, and get 10% off your order with the code GF.
One short of a full deck. That's us. 51. Episode 51. Welcome in. I'm Erin Davis.
I'm Lisa Brandt. Does that count the jokers? I'm not sure.
Our husbands can be included here, Derek and Rob. And you, of course, thank you for making this such an incredible year for us, but we're not done yet. Today we're going to talk about Christmas cards. Do you do them? Do you don't? If so not, why not?
Oh boy, a teacher would love to get a hold of that. We'll also talk about what teachers really want, and maybe you have a grandchild in your life or someone you know who could use a little prodding for what a teacher would really like this holiday season. And I'll give you a hint, it's not another vessel with a handle on it.
I've got one right here. Yeah. We love your mug, but don't send us one. Okay, Lisa is going to share with you a huge Facebook Live announcement that you're going to want to take part in and put in your digital or your new Humane Society calendar. We're also going to talk about using the good dishes. Gosh darn it, you gotta do it. Dig them out and put them out.
Not to mention, you have an amazing tip about something that may be preventing people from using the dishes, not really being a factor. So I think that's pretty cool too.
And the gift for Lisa that went sideways because, well, us. And thank you so much to Envy Pillow for giving us a good place to lay our heads at night.
Yes, the Envy Pillow, the first anti-wrinkle pillow with ergonomic neck and TMI support. You won't find another pillow.
TMJ support.
Oh,
Lisa.
TMI.
That's our show is TMI.
All right. Thank you, London. Good night. I can attest to all of the above because I have TMJ. I also have an issue with my neck, and they are helped immensely by sleeping on the Envy Pillow. I don't wake up with that stiff, sore feeling. It carries a medical device establishment license with Health Canada. And in fact, if you go to a chiropractor or another health outlet that sells an Envy Pillow, you will find out that the people who sell them use them. And that's how the Envy Pillow story has spread, because the people who are talking about them are the people who have fallen in love with them, just like us.
Exactly. And you can find out more. Go to Envy, ENVY. Don't be fooled by other consonants. ENVYpillow.com to find out more. And don't forget to use the code GF for great face to get 10% off. All right?
Here we go.
14th of December. Do you have any more Christmas cards to send out? Or are you even sending any out this year?
I actually am. I'm sending a few. I went a year or so where I didn't send any. And of course, I got an avalanche of them. So this year I'm just sending a few. But every day I think, oh, well, if I'm sending it to this person, I should send one to this person. So it's grown a little more than I would have liked. Do you send them?
I do. I just last weekend found myself in Shoppers Drug Mart looking for cards. And I hate doing that. I'd much rather buy the really beautiful ones 50% off after Christmas. But they fell through the cracks this year. Go figure.
Yeah.
So many cracks. Yeah, I got, I think, about 14 done. And of course, ran out of stamps. So there's Rob off to the post office on Monday to buy stamps. We usually buy the big roll at Costco and then kind of get it done for a while. But yeah, I didn't plan ahead this year. It's mostly to the older people on my list.
Yes.
There's like one cousin. There was a niece, but I never heard anything from her. And I just thought, you know what? This is so one-sided. And basically, I think that's what it's come down to. Is it one-sided? It's not about the receiving, but you want to know that at least it's appreciated, right? Because there's effort involved.
Right.
Unless you just sign your name and, slap a stamp on it, there is effort involved.
I have 3 aunts left. Well, 4, sorry. 3 on one side of the family. I'm just thinking of the one side.
Okay, 3 you like. Be honest.
No. I like them all.
Sure.
But 2 of them can't travel and don't travel anymore. And I think it's more important to them that they get a card to know that they're remembered. And I try and drop them both a line sometime during the year as well. Because, again, it's not about me so much. It's about them. You want them to remember that you remember them and that you're thinking of them. And so that's kind of how I feel about the Christmas cards, but it has kind of expanded into the younger folks. And by younger, I mean our age.
Yeah, that's true. Do you get any family letters? I got 2 this year and I'm expecting 1 more.
We don't have anyone in the family that does that. There was one cousin of my mom's who used to do it for the family, and he stopped. And that's okay, because half the time I'd be calling somebody and saying, who is this cousin Murgatroyd that they're talking about? And I wouldn't know who the heck they were anyway. So,
well, that's what I found. There was one family letter I got from a couple we're not really close with. And they're talking about this person and that person. And Rob and I are both going, who are these people? Maybe write it as though you say second cousin Jim or something. Or here's a thought. If people don't know who they are, don't send it to them.
Yeah. Yeah, but we think like that because of our radio background too, right? Like not everybody thinks that way. To them, they're important and they just think, well, I'm putting them in and not thinking about the recipient. This is something in radio and broadcasting. We always had to think about the end user. And that was our focus. I think when people are writing a letter, they're thinking more about what was important to themselves. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't think it comes naturally to everybody like it might to us.
It seems like Christmas family letters kind of went the way of the floppy disk when people started complaining that it just seemed like this whole list of bragging. Oh, we went here, we went there, we went here, we went there. And I kind of get that. But you know what? If the intention is good, and if you include family photos, we want to see what the kids look like and that sort of stuff. I think it's all nice at this time of year.
I would much rather see pictures than hear, Muffy graduated from whatever with honors. Show me a picture of her. I'd like the photos.
Yeah.
And especially when you go, what? They were 4 last year. Now they're driving a car?
When it comes to people you don't know really well at this time of year, but want to show your appreciation, I think that teachers rank way up there. And you can't wander the aisles of Winners or Marshalls or any of the stores like that without seeing mugs. Mugs and more mugs. And that is the one thing teachers say, please, I don't need any more mugs.
I think the mug industry can just stop. We have enough, to last for the next 100 years. There are so many mugs, good mugs, bad mugs, funny mugs. You go anywhere and it's just overrun with mugs. How many mugs do we need?
I have too many.
So do I.
I'm a mugophile, but I'm not a teacher. So what do you get for a teacher this year? And we realize, if you're listening, it's quite likely that your kids in school days are over, but there may be grandkids. And some of the parents don't even think about the teachers. I mean, when we were kids, did we give anything to the teachers at Christmas? That was not a thing.
No, I remember the last day of school, sometimes giving the teacher a card, or my mom would have remembered much better than me, something little, but it wouldn't have been anything major. And it was always the last day of school, not at Christmas.
I was such a suck up. I would have given anything to the teachers, absolutely anything. So there was this really interesting article that we came across about what teachers really want. They want gift cards. They want school supplies, along with handwritten notes and other simple acts of appreciation. And so that's what really matters to teachers. And I was thinking, well, okay, school supplies. We hear about American schools and how they have absolutely no money for anything except they want to arm their teachers. So, that's a really good place to spend your money, tongue in cheek. So I reached out to a teacher friend of ours, Mally Bickley, who really is a friend of ours. And we have other teachers who listen to us as well. And I said, okay, what did you really want? And she had some really good responses for us.
Yeah, and that's the ultimate thing about a gift is you want it to be used. And unfortunately, the whole school supply thing is a bit of an issue. It's just unfathomable, but
yeah.
Healthcare, schools, whatever it is, we'll just let them figure it out for themselves. Ugh.
Exactly. Mally says that for years she used to say that teaching was the only job you had to pay to work at and no benefits of tax write-offs for what they bought. She said some teachers spend hundreds or thousands a year and we're talking Canadian teachers here,
Yeah.
on creating beautiful learning spaces for their kids because they love the kids and they love what they do. And so there's a basic budget for supplies, and she would definitely love a gift card for the class, like Staples, Scholar's Choice, Michael's, Dollar Tree, Indigo. And if there's a local bookstore, all the better. Some kids would gift actual supplies as well. She said the best gift she ever got was a huge box of markers.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crayola markers. She says good glue sticks, the big ones. Yoo-hoo are the best because they have lids. So yeah, teachers can use supplies too. So maybe a goodie bag of supplies. And, you know, those little tiny bottles that they sell at the liquor store that come with the big one you have. It doesn't hurt to drop a few of those in too, because you know your kid is a lot.
Oh, yeah. I could just see somebody sending a little gift bag full of those little bottles, clink, 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 on the way to school, riding the school bus, getting the driver's attention, but also telling the teacher how much they mean to you, or something that asks the kid, what happened this year at school that was really good, and tell the teacher that. I saw a meme today on Instagram. It was this mom talking about how her 5-year-old was putting all the pictures he made over the year up on his wall. And at the end, when he was all finished, she said, that looks really good. And the little guy said, my teacher says I'm an artist. And, you know, that kind of stuff we kind of can take for granted, but that's huge. If a teacher takes the time to compliment you or nurture something. I remember Mr. Grantham in grade 8 telling me that I could be a really great writer if I put my mind to it. They don't get all that stuff back, so maybe we can give some of that back.
And that comes out so strongly in a book that you and I have both read and cannot recommend highly enough as a gift for Christmas or for the holidays, for whatever purpose. And that is Henry Winkler's book.
Oh, yes.
He was told he'd never be anything. And then he goes on to Yale to study acting. And then he gets this very iconic role as the Fonz.
Right away.
Yeah. Lives his life trying to live it down while not disrespecting it, embraces it, gets therapy, which was so important to him because he had a horrible upbringing. He was dyslexic and his parents treated him terribly. And then the Emmys start pouring in and the nominations because he really finds his voice. It's called Being Henry, is it not, Lisa?
Yes. And what I love about his story, the thing that really resonated with me was how much doubt he had.
Oh,
how small his storage of self-esteem was. And yet he loved what he did so much. He kept going, he kept pushing, he kept trying, and he kept learning. Oh, and the mistakes he made, the ways he messed up. He was fired from directing his first movie, all these things that happened. And yet he's a national treasure. He's a North American treasure.
He is. He's a mensch. And it's just a great book. And I was really sorry when I finished reading it. Quick sidebar. I'm now reading Anderson Cooper's The Asters because I'm into the Gilded Age on Crave. Yeah, The Asters is very interesting too. So I don't know why I've been on this reading binge the last month and a half, and it keeps me off the comment sections in the Washington Post and New York Times.
Yay!
I know! Yay!
Oh, yay for reading! Yay!
Yes, keep authors eating. That's our message here. You have some exciting news, and I am throwing this all over to you because you had this great idea. And usually when I have an idea, I say, okay, let's put on a show in the backyard next week at 2:00. And Lisa goes, wait, what are you doing? And so we did not start the book club in 2023.
No.
That was so half-baked. But you have fully baked. It's been cooling on the windowsill, and we are so excited for this for the first month of 2024. Okay, listen up. You're going to be taking part in this. I mean, you, the listener, and we should be there too, Lisa. Okay, where you go. Pitch away, baby.
The idea was sparked by someone on our Facebook page, Gracefully.
I'm leaving that in. End of year, almost leaving it in.
This was sparked by someone on the Gracefully and Frankly Facebook page who said, are you going to do anything for your first anniversary? And that's when the ideas started come about. So what we're going to do, because you and I are going to be together in California early in the new year. So we're going to have a Facebook Live on our Gracefully and Frankly Facebook page. So if you haven't been there, get over there, like it, make sure you're a part of it. So it will be Monday.
I'm writing it down.
Monday, January 15th at 6 p.m. Eastern. So don't worry about that being California time. 6 p.m. Eastern. It's Monday, January 15th. And you can text us anything you want, comments, questions, suggestions, whatever it is. We're going to celebrate. We might be wearing funny hats. I have no idea. We might not be wearing very much. I don't know what the weather's going to be like. Anyway, we're really looking forward to it. And we'll read what you have to say about the podcast, what you like, what you'd like to hear more of.
Okay.
Anything at all. So we're going to celebrate that way, live with thousands of our closest friends on Facebook.
So you say text us questions. Now that is in the format. Now I haven't done many Facebook Lives, as is going to be very evident, and it's why you've got the reins on this, my sister.
Well, don't forget, Anita's going to be there with us. Anita MacArthur is going to be there as well. So we're going to have, she doesn't know it yet, but she's going to be put to work.
Oh, sounds good.
Yes. So yeah, basically you will come to your Facebook page, somebody who wants to join in on this, and see on the top that we are live, or see somewhere that we are live. I usually, in mine, I see it on the top, and you just click on it. And if you're interested in it, we'll put it on the page that it's coming up. You can say you're interested or going, and you'll get a notification. There's no way to miss it, really. And then you can just text whatever, and we see it immediately. Now, if there are tons of texts, which we hope for, they will go by in a flash, which is why we need Anita's eyes on them, or we'll just be staring at the text instead of looking into the camera and saying anything of any importance. So, Anita, thanks for volunteering.
Yeah, you've been voluntold.
But I'm excited about it. I think it'll be really neat because it's in real time and records, and then we can put it up on the page later for anyone who missed it, and they can follow up on it. We can answer anything there as well. But the idea is to be there January the 15th, 6 p.m. on the Gracefully and Frankly Facebook page and join us live.
All right. And again, it's 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
All of us together. And I'm so looking forward to it. Thank you for prodding on this one, Lisa. I think it's a great way to really kick off 2024 and our second season of Gracefully and Frankly.
You know, so many podcasts don't make it past a few episodes. And it's not only because of people don't listen to it or whatever else. People don't understand what goes into it, I think, sometimes. Well, I know. And they think it's going to be easy and they're going to turn around and they're going to get rich. And we have not gotten rich from it or anything like that. But we love doing it. And the feedback is what keeps us going and the interest that we have from people. So we're into it for a year and it's unbelievable. It's so exciting.
It is. This is, as we mentioned off the top, episode 51. We will do an episode 52 next week, then take the week off between Christmas and New Year's. We weren't going to, and then we thought, well, you've got other things to do. You don't need us helping you undeck the halls or make it to New Year's. So we will have a brand new show for you first Thursday in January. Okay, this is going to be exciting, and all the details are at our Facebook page, Gracefully and Frankly.
It's going to be fun. I just guarantee it.
We'll talk more about the actual holiday plans and meals and visits and all that next week as we get closer to the big days, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. But there's a lot of preparation that goes into the house and stuff now. We have gone all in this year, Lisa. I said I was going to do this about a month ago, and gosh darn it, I did it, and I'm so proud. We took an entire wall of windows that was just stark black because it's so darn dark and early, hung long icicle lights, white shears over them all, the entire wall, and then adorned it at the top with lighted crystals and pearls. And I sent you a picture the other night. I'm just so proud.
It looks spectacular. It looks spectacular. There's no other way to put it.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
And that and the tree and all of the other little things that we've done this year to make the house ready. But of course, when it comes to the meals, the table wants to look nice too, right?
Yeah. And I was at my aunt's for dinner. We had an early Christmas dinner a week or so ago. And her daughter, my cousin Michelle, was like, Mom, put out the good stuff. This stuff sits in a cupboard all year. Like, bring it out, make it feel useful. And so we used the really, really good china, and it made everything just a little bit more special.
I think people are reluctant to use the good china for a couple of reasons, one of which is it's way back there in the cupboard or in the pantry or in the basement. It is so out of sight, therefore out of mind, and it's a pain in the butt to get out. Secondly, it's not, for the most part, dishwasher friendly, although I'm told that even the old stuff, and somebody please correct me on this on our Gracefully and Frankly Facebook page, that if you don't have them touching, the silver or gold on them will not wash off. You don't have to worry about it if nothing is rubbing them.
Oh, wow. That would be great.
It's kind of a good tip. I found that out from our friend Nancy, who has, a couple of generations of china. But this is the thing with our age now, Lisa. I am the only one of 4 daughters who has a life that has the space or even the interest in using good china. A couple of my sisters got them for wedding gifts. I have one sister's entire wedding set here because she's the one moved to Mexico. It's like, here, have my dishes, try to sell them. No. And then I've got my mom's complete set. And then my aunt, who has gone into elder care, I've got all her silver. I've got my mom's silver. And now I've got my grandmother's silver, which my aunt had. It's like I've got all this silver. The place looks like Downton Abbey. We're busy with our little silver gloves on trying to make, and then you got to rinse them afterward because silver polish, it turns out, just doesn't go with a Waldorf salad. But, it's all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have zero. I have none of
Want
that
some?
stuff. It's going to be a lot of effort and expense to ship. But I don't have any of that. My mom, by the time she moved into her condo out of the family home, she had no more china, really. And I don't remember her having a lot. Remember her complaining that there wasn't enough for everybody, but all of her everyday dishes that we all remember, like my brother and I remember, my brother has, because he will use them. And I ended up selling her silver.
Like silver plate cutlery? Or
Yeah. And so I sold them to a jewelry maker who was thrilled to get them. And I don't have any of that. So we just use the plates we use every day. And, when I got married, my second marriage, if anybody's got the bingo card, we asked for this china pattern and somebody got us the teeniest, tiniest bowl you could possibly get. And that was it. And one set of the cutlery.
Oh, geez.
So it never materialized. Second marriage, maybe that's why.
Maybe they started to think you were in it for the grift.
That's right.
Yeah, we never had a list for china or anything. We were living in an apartment at Young and College. Like, what am I going to do with china, right? Yeah. I liked my Mikasa, just the Mikasa stuff. I liked black dishes then, it was a thing. Now I got everybody else's china and we have to make a point of using it because why not? I mean, the silverware probably isn't going to go into the dishwasher. I'll just put it in soapy water, wash it and whatever. And there may be mismatched sets and stuff, but you know what I feel when I use my mom's china and silver and stuff? And I know this sounds so Gilded Age itself, but it's really, really not. It was just from a different generation. My parents weren't rich. They just had family friends who gave them gifts for their wedding. Is I feel connected to all of the years that we dined because, a family, a growing family, my mom schlepped that stuff not around the world, but certainly to England and all of the other houses we moved. It was important to her. Yeah. And using it brings back the memories of those dinners together, the family dinners, all the great fights. And
yes, exactly.
And the events and stuff. So it is a connection with the generations that I really love and adore and would miss.
I have a couple of bowls. I have one that belonged to my maternal grandmother and another one that my mother had too. And I feel the same way. I mean, they're just, the only real things I have. But my mom, she always designated a bowl for different things. Okay, right. This one's got to have this. And whenever I pass this bowl and it doesn't have stuffing in it, I think it's supposed to have stuffing. Yeah, so I get that. I love that connection. But here's the thing. Who after us is going to want that connection? I was looking today at This is going to be so revelatory, and I didn't mean this to be. But in our downstairs bathroom, I was looking today at the pictures on the wall. And they were painted by Derek's aunt. So she's, great aunt to the next generation, and nobody wants them. So if we don't leave them and put them up, and it's the same with who are you going to give that silver to?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
And I bought out my sisters for my mom's silver. I just said to the one who is a gemologist, okay, tell me what this would go for just for the weight of it or whatever. And she told me. So I bought them out. So it's not like I'm getting something I'm not entitled to. But this woman also does appraisals. And she sent us a fascinating article on what your stuff is worth. And the bottom line is not much.
Right.
Not jewelry. I'm not referring to that. But of course, like the silver and some of the vases or the furniture. Oh, God, especially the furniture.
And the trouble is, I think people mix up emotional attachment or sentimentality with value, and they're not the same thing, because somebody who doesn't have that emotional or family connection to it will just think antique stores are full of sets of dishes and all that kind of stuff. They can't get rid of the stuff. And it's unfortunate, but it's just how it is.
And you've got this, not you, and not I certainly, but this armoire that was Belgian frontier, and it weighs 2,000 pounds, and it's 80 years old. And back in the day, it was worth a ton because it was made of oak or maple or, I don't know, acacia, who knows. But it's not worth anything now. And you know why? Because we are all downsizing to shoe boxes. We are getting rid of all our stuff. And we live in an IKEA society, like it or not, where they're making solid stuff that can be folded down to nothing so you can have maximum space. And have you noticed how few people have any kind of a dining room? We're all into open concept.
That's right.
It's just not a thing anymore.
I remember thinking in my first house I bought, this is so fancy. We have a dining room. And now in our place now we have a dining area with a much smaller table that serves us just fine. Now, here's another thing. Try and give a kid a Hummel. A
Hummel. Oh, my God.
Back in the day, a Hummel was an expensive, coveted figurine, and now nobody wants them.
No, they use them in the promo for Fargo, I think. Yeah, they're little German statues, mostly of children. And my mom had a collection of them too, a couple of lamps, because Dad would go to Germany with the Air Force and pick me up some Hummels. Oh, my God. Yeah. Collecting things. Don't collect things, whether it's Beanie Babies, which it was as a kid, or anything. But of course, then there's the guy with the Hank Aaron signed card or, Babe Ruth or Honus Wagner that managed to pay off the national debt because there were so few. So what do I know?
Well, collect what you love. Just don't expect it to be a legacy item for your kids. My mom loved to get things from the Bradford Exchange.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. She had brass miniatures, a whole little set of them. She had these Asian plates, and none of them were worth anything. And it was up to me to take these things that she loved. She loved those plates. She had them all over her dining room walls, and I donated them because there was just no value in them. But that was the Bradford Exchange's wonderful trick, right? It's like, oh, these things are going to grow in value, and then they don't. But she loved them. So they did matter. But again, the sentimentality didn't match the value.
So the message here, in case you're listening and going, wait a second, I have stuff from the Bradford Exchange, or I have Hummels, or any of this, it's not in the least bit to diminish what you have done. It's if it matters to you, if it brings you joy. It goes back to the Marie Kondo thing, right? If it brings you joy, then keep it.
Absolutely. I used to collect elephants. And when somebody mentioned it on the radio, maybe me, I ended up with an onslaught of elephants. And I had hundreds of elephants from listeners and different people. And it got to the point where I had to say, I no longer collect elephants. But for a while, that collection meant something to me, but it had no value. And I guess that's just kind of the message, is that, collect what you love, surround yourself with what you love, but just don't expect that it will necessarily buy your kids a house.
And when you give it away, what they do with it is none of your business. And that's a really hard lesson to learn.
Very hard.
What do you mean you're not displaying it? What do you mean you're this, you're that? No, once you give it away, it is gone. It's no longer yours and none of your business.
Yeah, that's a hard one. Again, we get attached to these things, but they are, when it comes right down to it, just things. And it wasn't Marie Kondo, but somebody before her who said, if you're trying to get rid of clutter, but there's stuff you love, take a picture of it. You'll still get the same feeling when you look at the picture.
Yeah.
And it takes up a lot less room.
Exactly. As the great Pee Wee Herman, who we lost this year, Paul Rubens, said, take a picture. It will last longer.
Ha ha.
Well, I didn't know whether to tell you this next week or not, but since we're just wrapping up here, literally, I had a little gift for you and Derek, and it was on its way, and then I got the message from Amazon that it had been returned, and I don't know what happened. But here's the funny gift of the Magi thing. I saw you did a post online about some of your ornaments, and you pointed out a gold microphone. Well, guess what it was?
Are you kidding? Oh,
it was a brand new car. No, it was a gold microphone because I wanted to celebrate our first year of Gracefully and Frankly. And
and I ruined it.
You didn't ruin it.
No.
No, the delivery service ruined it because it said undeliverable. Are you that person that says, I don't care if you see me on my porch. If I say I'm not home, I'm not home?
Yeah, that's true. But I actually made Derek go make a special trip into Canadian Tire to pick up that gold microphone.
Really?
Because my little voiceover buddy group, Marianne and Rachel, both had one, and I felt left out. So he was nearby, and I said, will you go in and see if they have one? And so that's how I got it. Oh, if only I'd waited. Well,
that's okay, because you and I kind of had a pact we weren't going to do presents anyway. So that was dirty of me, wasn't it?
Yeah, I always like a gift.
Oh, there you go. Okay, I'll do the next best thing. I'll send you the listing of what it was.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. It didn't work out, but if there's anybody on my list who appreciates how stuff happens, it's you. So
you got that right.
The gift of the Magi microphone.
I love it.
It's been a pleasure again this week, Lisa. We're going to wrap up the year next week with episode 52, and I can't wait. It's been such an incredible year, and of course, we're so grateful to Sierra Sil and to Envy Pillow, and Lisa, to you for putting together this Facebook Live Monday, January 15th, 6 p.m. Eastern, Gracefully and Frankly Facebook page. That's where you find us.
Yep, you won't be able to miss it, and we're looking forward to it. So bye for now.
Bye.